In the mid-19th century, the world was a place of deep shadows. When the sun set, human activity slowed to the flicker of a candle or the dim glow of a gas lamp. Life was dictated by the natural cycle of light and dark. But in 1847, in the small town of Milan, Ohio, a force of nature was born. Thomas Alva Edison would not just live in this world. He would eventually provide the spark that would banish the darkness forever. Youngall, as he was called, was far from a star student. His mind worked differently. His teacher called him addled, unable to focus on rote memorization. But his mother, Nancy Edison, saw a brilliant flame where others saw confusion. She took him out of school and taught him at home. This pivotal moment allowed his curiosity to run wild. In his cellar, a makeshift laboratory became the sanctuary where his lifelong obsession with chemistry began. Edison's hearing loss, which began in childhood, is often seen as a disability. However, Edison viewed it as a gift. It created a profound silence that allowed him to concentrate intensely on his work without distraction. By age 12, he was an entrepreneur, selling newspapers on the Grand Trunk Railroad. He even set up a laboratory in a baggage car, showing the world that his hunger for knowledge and commerce knew no bounds or physical limitations. Runaway train. The boy's father, a station agent, taught Edison the art of telegraphy as a reward. This was the high-tech industry of the 1860s for years. Edison traveled across the war-torn United States as a tramp telegrapher. He spent his nights disassembling equipment, learning how electricity moved through wires, and dreaming of ways to make the transmission of information faster and more efficient. Edison's first patent was for an electrographic vote recorder. It was a technical masterpiece, but a commercial failure. Politicians hated it because it was too fast, preventing them from filibustering. This failure taught Edison a brutal but vital lesson. Anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. From that day on, his genius was married to the market. He moved to New York City, penniless but possessing a mind that could fix any machine he touched. In 1876, Edison moved his operations to a quiet village called Menlo Park, New Jersey. This was the world's first industrial research laboratory. It wasn't just about one man. It was about a team of muckers working together. Here, Edison reinvented the process of invention itself. He realized that by bringing chemists, mathematicians, and machinists under one roof, he could mass-produce innovation. This was the true beginning of the Wizard of Menlo Park persona. In 1877, Edison achieved something that seemed like dark magic to his contemporaries. While trying to improve the telegraph and telephone, he discovered a way to record and play back sound. He spoke the words "Mary had a little lamb" into a tinfoil cylinder, and to his amazement, the machine spoke back. This was the phonograph. For the first time in human history, the human voice was immortalized, and Edison became a global celebrity overnight, known as the Wizard. The phonograph wasn't just a toy. It was a revolution in communication. Edison envisioned it for office dictation, blind people's education, and even musical boxes. However, the technology was fragile. The tinfoil tore easily, and the sound was scratchy. But Edison didn't mind. He saw the potential where others saw limitations. This invention proved that he could turn thin air into a tangible product, setting the stage for his most famous struggle, the quest for the electric light. The idea of electric light wasn't new, but it was impractical. Arc lamps were too bright and hissed. They were unsuitable for homes. Edison sought a subdivision of light, a gentle, glowing bulb for every room. In 1878, he boldly announced to the press that he had solved the problem before he even started. This put immense pressure on him and his team. They began a grueling marathon, testing over 6,000 different materials to find a filament that wouldn't burn out.
Having the bulb was only half the battle. Edison realized he needed an entire system to power it. He had to invent dynamos, underground cables, meters, and switches. In 1882, he opened the Pearl Street Station in New York, the first central power plant. When he flipped the switch, 59 customers in Lower Manhattan saw their offices bathe in a soft, steady glow. It was the birth of the modern utility industry, a massive leap from individual lamps to a citywide grid.